with Jess Lujan.
We're back with my guest, Judge John Unpingco. We're talking Veterans Affairs, most particularly the situation down at Veterans Cemetery. But, Your Honor, before we start talking again, going back to, again, now these verticals now that you can put urns in, and man, it's looking like you're going to be able to take, I mean, a lot more burials now as a result of maybe the cremation that may happen. But let me ask you this, because a little I think over a month ago, there was a news story, and one of the, I think it was Senator Barnes that came out, that there was a news story regarding some infrastructure stuff that you were dealing with down at Veterans Affairs Office, and supposedly unbearable to the point that, I don't know to what point. And I was baffled at the point. I was going, I thought Senator Frank Uggan had oversight of yourselves, and I'm going, did he know about this? Can you brief us on that?
Yeah, Senator Frank Uggan has been very good about this because he was the one who called us to get the inside information on what was really happening. Okay. The other senator didn't bother calling us and depended on hearsay information. And so that was the basis of her announcement on the radio. You know, credit is given where credit is due, and I want to set the record straight here, because the true credit belongs to two veteran-owned businesses, small businesses. A special thanks to Mr. John Healy of California Pacific Technical Services and Mr. Clayton Duvall of China Development Company. Okay. These two veterans and their companies stepped forward and offered to help us. Now, at the time, we did have money to effect the repairs, but procurement paralysis, if you'll accept that, procurement paralysis then set in. We couldn't get offers to do the work, and when we asked one offer that was scoping the work out, he asked us, who's going to pay for this? And we told him, government request, you know, and he says, government purchase order, and he says, nope, not interested. So nobody submitted a bid for the procurement of the fixing of our facilities. Sure. In the first round. Now, you got to remember, our facilities, our building is very old, okay? And it wasn't usable until we decided to rehab it. Sure. It was a deserted building, and it was scheduled to be torn down by the Gura. Anyway, these two veterans saw the picture of Cindy Gogo, one of our staff, putting a bucket of water into the commode, and they approached us very quietly and said, "We'll help you because we believe in what you're doing, and we want to return some of the good things that have happened to us." And at that point, I was looking at other government of Guam agencies to try to help us out. But then I decided it's best to just put those as a fallback position and use the two veteran companies. And within hours, there was another company that they subcontracted with on-site evaluating.
So this is donated time and donated services to the veterans of Guam, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And we're still, about 80% of the work is done. We still have about 3 more air conditioners to go that we need to get installed. But by and large, these two companies really deserve full credit for bailing us out of a bad situation. And they cleared up our sewer line was plugged up. That was cleared, and our water supply was turned on again, and it worked beautifully.
So you had some infrastructure problem that needed expertise. Yes. And they were able to do that. So again, you didn't have now because of the volunteer, not just service but time and money to put this. You didn't require, of course, to go out on a bid. Nobody was interested in
to begin with
on a government check. Or the government check at this point. I understand.
The rejoinder we get was, it'll take years before I get paid, and in the meantime, what am I going to do? You know, so
My company may fold by the time they pay me. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm glad, again, the name of the companies and the individuals?
the name is John Healy of
Okay.
Cal Pacific
Okay.
Technical Services and Mr. Clayton Duvall of
Okay.
China Development Corporation.
Okay.
We salute them
Yeah.
and we thank them very much for the fine work they do.
and again, as special thanks to them and hats off to them too as well. And again, before we went into break, you said you're awaiting legislation. I know you're talking time-sensitive legislation. I don't know if the legislature is still in session tomorrow. I'm hoping that after this show, they look at the time sensitivity of this. They can waive the public hearing, most especially when the two sides already, the owners of the property, Department of Agriculture, and yourselves already have an MOU.
Yes.
You have already an agreement between the two of you that is time sensitive because you're under construction, and I hope
Yes.
they take this up as well, and they
Yeah.
can waive the public hearing
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, this goes back to the cemetery again.
Sure.
It goes to the northeast
Mhm.
boundary line
Yeah.
where the boundaries are, what was recorded and
Mhm.
what was actually the fence line are two different things.
Sure. Sure.
And so we're trying to straighten out that problem once and for all
Mhm.
so that it won't rise again in the future if we don't resolve it. And we're trying to resolve it the best way we can, the cleanest way we can. And that's why we're waiting for the legislative.
There we go. Now,
relief.
we're talking about you have some entities, some areas on the cemetery that you're still going vertical. This is, again, it's under construction here. This is what it's going to look like, and this is where the folks that choose to go through the way of cremation, right,
Yes,
are going
yes.
to,
Their urn.
Their urn will be there. And you're saying in some, it's 8 up, right?
8 up.
And in some of these areas here, you have 12 across.
12 to 24.
And these are both sides. There's two
Both
sides.
sides, yes.
Both sides, and
Yes.
you got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these going up,
Yeah.
right?
We
You reckon?
got 3 going up in one
Right now? Okay.
one side, and then 3 going up in the other.
Oh, okay.
But
So you're
the-
6.
Yes, but the
okay.
3 on one side,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be longer than the 3 on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now the other thing, real quick, because we're going to go to break. When this is done, when can we see completion? Final completion?
The goal right now is September 26.
26.
Yes.
Okay. This year.
Yes.
Okay. A few months from now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you gonna solve your maintenance problems as well as security issues at this point when that's open?
Well, you can never solve completely the security problems,
Okay.
but we're going to take steps toward improving them. for
And
security.
the maintenance as well, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
very much so.
Great. We're going to pay some bills, Your Honor, and then we'll come back and we'll say our goodbyes, okay?
Okay.
We'll be right back.